welcome you to this video. This video is a continuation of our topic RC, yes, which is the reading comprehension. And today in this video we will be discussing about what are the different types of RC passages and also the different question types, yes. So in reading comprehension it is mostly involved with how the questions are asked with related to our passages. So we'll see how all they are raising the questions in these passages, okay. Now let's move on to our topic. So here I have given you two different kind of passages, yes. So first is your business and economics, the second is humanities, third social sciences, natural sciences and your current events, okay. So these are the most repeated topics, okay. And how will your passages be? It will be mostly analytical, descriptive and data driven. So analytical, you have to understand the topic and you have to answer it. There might be a lot of open-ended questions, okay. So descriptive is based on the passage. From the passage you have to describe and answer. These passages are called as descriptive passages, okay. Your third one is data driven. So it will talk more about statistics and numbers, right. So for example, passages from economics, okay, passages from current events and all might be passages that could be asked under data driven passage, yes. So you can focus initially on preparing passages from these topics, right, and under these category as well. So when you're focused in your preparation, the end result will be really good, okay. So I hope this helped you. Now let's move on to our third, yes. Why I'm telling you third is, you remember in our previous video I told you there are three types to approach the RC passages. So the first one was to identify the central theme. The second one was to identify the tone, yes. So hence your third one is the question types, okay. So that is why I told you this is our third type, okay. So how are your questions asked? Questions are based on the various ideas that revolve around the theme. So once you identify the theme, then it will become easy for you to answer the questions, okay. So how will your questions be? Basic, simple yet straightforward. So this is your type 1. So this will be in your direct tone. So if you look at the questions itself, you will be able to understand what the question is asking and where you will be able to find the answer. So this is type 1. So what's type 2? It's more sophisticated. So you have to have a better understanding. So you have to go into a little bit of depth to understand those questions. So those are indirect tone questions. So that is your type 2. And third, advanced and complicated. So it needs a lot of understanding, right? You have to understand really well. You have to, sometimes it might even require rereading the passage to understand what the author is actually talking about. So that is type 3. So three main types we will be discussing in this video, right? Next. So the question category types, okay. So here we saw about the broader classification, yes. So whether it's basic or simple, or whether it's sophisticated, or whether it will require more understanding, okay. So that is the broader classification. But now we are going to see about each question that is being asked, okay. So how are the questions being asked? So that is important, right. So first is your main idea questions. So the questions that involve the central theme, okay. So if it is asking you like what is the author talking about and all that, it is your main idea question. So that is the first type. Second one is your title oriented questions, okay. So if your questions are being raised with respect to the title, or they ask you to frame the title or give a suitable title, then those are title oriented questions, alright. Next, third one is tone or attitude questions. Any question that surrounds the tone of the author or the attitude of the author, then it is the tone or attitude based questions. What's next? Structure or organization based questions, okay. So when it is talking about the organization, if the passage addresses a specific organization or a structure, then that related questions also can be asked. Next, inference questions. Inference questions are mostly open-ended questions. Okay, so what is the passage actually talking about? So you have to come up with your own words. So those are called as inference questions, right? Next, fact-based or direct questions. Okay, if the questions are asked with related to facts, okay, with statistics related, then they are called as direct or fact-based questions. Agree or disagree questions. Sometimes when are you agreeing to the author, are you disagreeing to the author or something, these are agree or disagree questions. Then your eighth type, vocabulary based questions. Okay, so here we have the most 8 important question types that are often asked in our reading comprehension passages, right? So now let's see about how or what kind of questions are being asked under each parameter. Okay, so what's your first parameter? Main idea questions, right? So in the main idea questions, how are the questions being asked? Okay, you can see here, what is the central idea of the passage? Okay, so these are open-ended. So can you see? Yes. Second, what is the main purpose or idea of the passage? Yes. So these are all open-ended questions only. So what is our next question? Which of the options implies the gist of the passage? See, this is a closed-end question. The reason is, you might be given 4 or 5 options and all you need to do is choose the related option, okay? The relevant option that goes along with your passage. So these are closed-ended options, the questions. Summarize the passage in one line. So understand, okay, this and all comes for high difficulty level. You can do this only if you understand the passage completely. If not, it will become very difficult, right? So you have to understand the concept. You need to know how to jot down the entire passage and form it into a single one-liner. So you have to practice this a lot. Next, your next parameter is your title question. So what happens? They might ask you to provide a suitable title, your own title for the passage, and it should be relatable, right? So you need to choose a suitable title for the given passage, or see, it might be open-ended or it might be close-ended. So if it is open-ended, the question might be provide a suitable title of your own choice. So if it is close-ended, they might give you 4 options or 5 options and you have to choose the most suitable title for the particular passage, okay? So once you have identified the main idea and context of the passage, you need to choose the option that seems closest to the main idea, okay? So that is about your title questions. Next, the tone or attitude of the questions. So you have to know or you have to understand the tone or attitude. So you need to judge the attitude of the author with respect to the discussed topic. So in other words, you have to find out the emotion or sentiment with which the author has written about the subject. We also discussed 2 questions in the previous video, right? So to find out what tone the author is actually talking about. So we also discussed variety of tones in the previous video. So if you are thorough with that, for you to answer such type of questions will become very simple, okay? So next, structure or organization based questions. So what happens here? The structure of the passage, there's a typo. The structure of the passage basically refers to the logical flow or organization of the ideas in the passage. So as you must have observed, each paragraph conveys a certain point or it emphasizes on a particular idea or aspect of the subject. Such questions may be asked in the following form. So for example, if it's talking about an organization, its practices, the structure, so how will they ask questions? For example, the organization of the 4th paragraph or passage can be best described as, okay? So they are talking about a particular paragraph in the passage, yes? So this is how they will ask a question. Or the second paragraph criticizes, okay? So it's a tone, the second paragraph is criticizing what? So you have to answer there. Next, the function of the 3rd paragraph is, so what is the 3rd paragraph trying to tell? So they might focus on the different key parts of the paragraph and you have to answer related to it, okay? Now we are going to see the 5th parameter. So what is your 5th parameter? Inference questions, okay? So inference, what is it? The purpose of inference questions is to check your ability to read between the lines, okay. So between the lines, when there is a transition, you should be able to understand. That is why they are going to question you based on inference, okay. So it may refer to a restatement or conclusion or consequences that the author tries to state indirectly, okay. So here the passage will be in an indirect form, right. The author will not be talking about anything directly, okay. He might be talking it indirectly, and you need to find out what he is actually talking about, right. So how can the questions be asked? It can be inferred from the passage that, okay. So you have a passage, right. So the author is talking about something and they say that it can be inferred from the passage, okay. So you have to identify, even though the author is not talking about that instead, you have to infer that the author has been talking about this only, okay. So for example, okay, people are suffering a lot because petrol hike, okay. So here, yes, people are suffering a lot because of the petrol hike, yes. So this is conveyed in a direct tone. He is addressing the petrol hike directly, in case if the author is telling, right. So you see, the petrol industries are facing a lot of crisis and it may affect the consumers. So here he is not talking directly about the petrol hike, okay. He's telling that the consumers are the ones who will be affected. So what is this passage inferring to? This passage is inferring to the petrol hike, okay. So you have to understand without the author's direct words as to what the author is actually making a point there, okay. So those kind of passages, those kind of questions are called as inference questions, okay. So how else can the inference question be asked? It cannot be inferred from the passage that, okay. So what you cannot understand from the passage or what you cannot prove from that passage, then you will be getting questions like this. Next, what can be inferred when the author states, yes. So this is a different question on the whole, okay. So can you see here? Clean India movement is appreciated by the citizens, okay. So what can be inferred when the author states Clean India movement? So the author has not spoken about Clean India movement in this passage, but he's just appreciated it, right? That he's just saying that it's being appreciated by the citizens. Then you need to answer there, okay. So you have to answer about what Clean India movement is, okay. So these kind of questions are also open-ended, right? So that is the time when you have a question, what can be inferred when the author states dash, okay. Next, the sentence dash implies that, okay. The sentence Clean India movement is appreciated by the citizens implies that. So you need to say it is appreciated and welcomed by the citizens. It has made a huge difference in the society. So whatever comes in your mind, you have to answer related to this particular question, okay. Next, what does the author mean by the line dash, okay. So what, through that line, what is the author trying to say? Next, what can be inferred from the sentence dash? So this is similar to what can be inferred from the author states, or the sentence dash implies that. This is just different form of questions, okay. So whenever these kind of questions come, you need to know that you have to have a complete understanding of the author's point of view, because in the first paragraph he might be agreeing, second paragraph he might be disagreeing. If you don't get the complete idea, there are chances that you might just give a contradictory answer to the question that is being asked, okay. So now let's move on to the sixth parameter, which is your fact-based or direct questions, right? So what does this require you to do? This requires you to identify the correct and incorrect facts as per the passage. So these questions, how are these questions asked? The first thing is, the passage states that, okay, so from the passage, what is the true you need to tell over there, you need to convey there through a sentence. Next, the authors mention the following except, so you have to be very keen on what the author has spoken and what he has missed out. So you need to exactly point out on what the author did not address there. Yes, for example, if the topic is based on economy, okay, it might talk about banks, okay, it might talk about liquidity, yes, it might talk about cash flow, yes. So if it is talking about all this, then the author has mentioned about all this, but he did not mention about the risk factors, yes. So this is something that he has missed, and this is based on facts, right? So for that you need to be well aware of that passage, the topic that the passage is actually talking about, okay. Next, according to the passage, which of the following statement is correct or incorrect? Yes. So once you read the entire passage and you understand, you will be able to answer such questions. So these are close-ended, they are not open-ended. So from the passage itself, you will be able to understand. So the questions must be appearing quite easy to you now, right? So these are very simple, okay. So according to the passage, which of the following statement is correct or incorrect? That's it. So once you are done with this itself, you will be able to have a clear understanding of how questions are being asked. Next, agree or disagree question. So here, what is this agree or disagree questions? See, an interesting type of questions asked from RCs are this, okay. Yes. So how they are asked is, from the passage they might ask, what is the author agreeing with? So what is the author disagreeing with, okay. The author would least likely agree. So what is this least likely agree is, he agrees but not to that extent, okay. Next, the target audience of the passage is most likely. To whom is the author talking? Yes, to whom is the author trying to convey his thoughts? That is also very important. Next, how would the author most likely respond to the assertion that, so there is a point, there is something that the author has spoken, so what is he trying to stress on over there? So these questions are very interesting and it will be easier also once you understand the entire passage. Alright, next. Your vocabulary based questions, okay. So here sometimes your questions might come up with the fact that what is the synonym of this word that the author used, okay. So they might choose some particular words and they might ask the synonyms or antonyms with related to those words, okay. So those are your vocabulary based questions and these are frequently asked in the RC question, okay. So these are our 8 different question types that we have discussed today, okay. So I hope this video helped in understanding you better about all the different types of questions that may come in our RC passages, right. So I wish you all the best, and still we have another video left in our RC topic where we will be discussing some relative questions, okay, that would give you a better understanding here, okay. So thank you for watching this video.